As the night settles gently around you, imagine the world softening at the edges, the sky dimming into a cool twilight, every sound growing slower, quieter, kinder. Your breathing eases. Your thoughts drift like feathers floating in a warm breeze. There is nothing to do now, nothing to carry, just a story unfolding softly in the distance. And in that quiet place, far beyond busy roads and bright city lights, lies a valley known only to wandering starlight. At the center of the valley rests a secret garden glowing faintly beneath the dusk like a memory wrapped in silver. This garden is where our story begins. Each evening, as the first stars blink awake, a gentle soul named Arin walks along the winding path leading to the heart of the garden. Arin moves thoughtfully, as though listening to the rhythm of the night. Their journal is tucked under one arm, filled with small sketches of lantern flowers and half-written poems about the sky. On the opposite side of the valley, another quiet figure steps toward the same place. Her name is Leora, and she has visited the garden since childhood. She carries no journal and no belongings, only a soft curiosity that pulls her back to the garden night after night. Her footsteps are light, and her eyes always shine a little brighter when the stars reflect in them. Neither Aaron nor Leora knows the other is coming tonight. The garden simply calls to them the way gentle places call to gentle hearts. Warm fireflies drift above the path as Aaron reaches a small clearing. The lantern flowers glow brighter, sensing company. The air is cool, sweet, and slow perfect for unwinding the rest of the day. A few moments later, Leora steps into the clearing from the opposite path. She pauses, surprised to see someone already there. Aaron looks up, startled but softening quickly, offering a small nod of greeting. They do not speak yet. They simply share the same quiet space, under the same early starlight, as the garden begins to hum with its nighttime glow. And the night, gentle and patient, begins to weave their destinies together. The night deepens slowly. Above the garden, the stars stretch like tiny lanterns scattered across a velvet sky. Each one glimmers softly, as if in quiet conversation, whispering calmness into the gentle breeze. The air smells faintly of jasmine and damp earth, carrying a warmth that settles into your chest and sighs with comfort. Aaron shifts slightly on the soft grass, tracing patterns in the dirt with their finger. The movement is slow, deliberate, peaceful. Liara watches from across the clearing, her curiosity mingling with a quiet calm, as if the garden itself has invited her to pause. For a moment, the two simply exist together in silence, each aware of the other's presence but without words, letting the night stretch between them like a soft, invisible blanket. A tiny firefly drifts lazily near Aaron's shoulder, its glow gentle, flickering like a heartbeat. Leora reaches out with a careful hand, and the firefly hovers above her palm, then drifts toward the space between them, as if guiding a shared path. The garden seems to lean in, embracing their quiet togetherness, and even the flowers tilt slightly toward the soft light, petals brushing the cool air. Aaron finally opens their journal, flipping to a blank page. The pencil moves slowly, leaving delicate lines, gentle sketches of the lantern flowers around them, and shapes inspired by the stars above. Leora crouches nearby, resting her hands lightly on her knees, watching the movements of the pencil with a soft smile. She doesn't speak. There is no need. The night has a way of saying everything without words. The breeze picks up slightly, carrying with it the distant sound of water trickling from a hidden spring. The music of the garden is soft, the gentle rustle of leaves, the occasional flutter of a bird settling into a tree, the steady hum of nighttime life. Each sound blends together, slow and rhythmic, like a lullaby meant only for those willing to slow down and listen. Aaron looks up from the page, and for a brief moment, their eyes meet Leora's. There is a flutter there, soft, like the brush of wings, warm and comforting, a spark that neither startles nor overwhelms. Just a gentle acknowledgement of connection, of two souls quietly recognizing each other beneath the tender night sky. Time seems to pause. The garden holds them in a soft embrace, the stars overhead glowing a little brighter, the lantern flowers swaying as if in quiet applause. The night feels endless, calm, and safe, a perfect place to breathe, to feel, and to slowly drift toward sleep. And as Aaron and Leora continue their quiet, shared presence, the garden whispers around them, inviting dreams to come gently, fluttering softly, like the wings of tiny butterflies in the starlit air. The garden seems to breathe around them, slow and steady, as if the night itself is alive. Aaron and Leora step carefully along a winding path lined with soft moss and tiny glowing lantern flowers. Each footstep sinks lightly into the earth, cushioned and silent, blending with the gentle rhythm of the night. Every movement feels measured, unhurried, a dance of quiet presence beneath the endless sky. The stars above have multiplied, their soft light shimmering through the delicate branches of the trees. Occasionally a star seems to drift just a little lower, like a glowing feather falling softly toward the earth. Aaron lifts a hand, almost unconsciously, as if to catch it, and Leora laughs softly, a sound like wind brushing across petals. It's a sound that feels warm, familiar, and safe, coaxing a slow smile to bloom on Aaron's face. Fireflies gather along the path now, hovering in small clusters, leaving trails of gentle light that swirl like tiny comets. Leora extends her fingers, letting a few of them land gently on her hand. Their soft glow warms her skin, and she glances at Aaron, who watches with quiet fascination. Neither speaks. Words are not needed here. The garden, the night, and the stars themselves are enough to carry their connection. They reach a small bridge arching over a narrow, glimmering stream. Water slips over smooth stones, making soft music that echoes faintly through the clearing. The bridge is delicate, made of pale wood that glows faintly in the starlight, inviting them to cross slowly. Step by step, they move together, though not touching yet, their shadows brushing briefly on the soft surface of the bridge. A gentle breeze carries the scent of night-blooming flowers, wrapping around them, tugging softly at their hair and clothes. Aaron pauses midway across, looking down at the water. The reflection of the stars shimmers on the surface, dancing lightly with each ripple. Leora stops beside them, eyes wide, captivated by the liquid sky beneath their feet. The scene feels endless, as though the world has contracted into this perfect, floating moment where nothing exists but soft light, warm air, and the quiet hum of life. For a long moment they watch together in silence. Tiny butterflies of light, whether real or imagined by the magic of the garden, flutter between them, brushing past their shoulders, leaving faint traces of warmth that rise and fade like whispered breaths. Each flutter feels like a secret, gentle promise, a tiny heartbeat shared in the calm of the night. As the moon climbs higher, painting everything in pale silver, Aaron and Leora step off the bridge together, still not touching, but closer now than before. Their footsteps fall in harmony, echoing softly in the garden's hush. Each step feels like a heartbeat, slow and steady, guiding them deeper into the embrace of the night, into dreams that await like hidden flowers ready to bloom under starlight. Soft silver light spills between the tall, swaying trees, painting the forest floor in quiet streaks. The air is calm, filled with the gentle scent of night-blooming flowers and cool earth. Somewhere above, the stars shimmer faintly, like tiny candles, flickering in a vast, slow-moving sky. Aaron moves lightly along a winding trail, pausing to watch a cluster of glowing petals floating down on the breeze. Each petal seems almost alive, drifting lazily, as if it carries a secret only the night knows. Leora follows a few steps behind, her gaze soft, taking in the gentle sway of leaves and the faint glimmer of fireflies weaving through the shadows. They do not speak. Words feel unnecessary here. The night hums softly around them, a quiet lullaby of wind through branches, distant water trickling over smooth stones, and the faint rustle of unseen creatures settling in for sleep. Every sound is slow, measured, and comforting. Aaron kneels beside a small, shallow stream that winds through the forest. Water glimmers like liquid silver under the moonlight. Fingers trace tiny ripples on the surface, sending them slowly outward. Leora crouches nearby, mesmerized by the gentle movement. For a moment, it feels as though the stream is drawing them closer together, a soft, shimmering thread connecting them, without a single word. Above, moths and fireflies drift lazily, leaving trails of soft light. One glides near Leora's shoulder, brushing against her hair like a warm whisper. Aaron watches quietly, the edges of their eyes catching the faint glow. Each flutter of light, each gentle movement in the air, adds a delicate rhythm to the night, a soft pulse that matches the quiet beat of their hearts. A gentle breeze carries the scent of honeysuckle, curling around them, warm and soothing. Leora leans back slightly, letting the cool earth press against her palms, and Aaron tilts their head to watch the shadows ripple across the ground. They are close now, not touching, but present to each other in a way that feels intimate and weightless, as if the night itself has invited them to drift together in calm. Time moves slowly. Every step, every glance, every flutter of wings feels suspended, measured in heartbeats rather than minutes. The world has softened. Thoughts have grown quiet. And in the silvered stillness, Iron and Leora begin to feel the first gentle threads of dreams brushing against them, soft as the wings of tiny butterflies in the moonlit air. A soft, quiet hush settles over the landscape as twilight fades into the gentle glow of night. Shadows stretch longer, blending with pools of moonlight that dance across the soft grass and the glimmering surface of a small pond nearby. The air is warm but crisp, carrying the subtle scent of night jasmine and fresh dew. Aaron steps carefully along the edge of the pond, watching the water ripple faintly with each gentle breeze. Their reflection shimmers softly, mingling with the scattered stars overhead. Leora crouches nearby, letting her fingertips skim the smooth surface, sending small, circular waves across the mirrored sky. The gentle ripples seem to carry quiet messages between them, words unspoken, feelings left unspoken, yet understood. The night is filled with subtle motion. Fireflies drift lazily above, leaving faint trails of gold and silver, and a small group of moths flutters between the trees. The creatures move almost as if choreographed, their wings brushing against the soft air with a lightness that makes each movement feel like a sigh. Aaron and Leora watch in silence, captivated by the slow, graceful rhythm of life around them. Aaron tilts their head back, eyes tracing the constellations stretching across the sky. Leora leans back on her hands beside them, her gaze following the same stars. For a while they simply breathe together, their movements slow and synchronized, hearts beating quietly in harmony with the nocturnal world. A gentle warmth rises in the chest, soft and fluttering, as though tiny wings brush against their hearts, leaving behind traces of comfort and calm. A thin mist begins to rise from the pond, curling lazily into the air. Its movement is hypnotic, flowing around the two of them like a soft embrace. They do not reach for each other. There is no rush, no urgency, but the closeness of shared silence feels like a gentle tether, linking them in quiet understanding. Each flutter of eyelashes, each slight shift in posture, carries more intimacy than words ever could. The night stretches on slowly, deliberately. Every sound, the rustle of leaves, the soft trickle of water, the distant call of a sleeping owl, is measured and soothing. The pond reflects the moon now in a perfect circle, casting a silver glow across the scene. Aaron and Leora remain there, seated side by side, enveloped in the tender, patient embrace of the night. Every breath becomes slower, every heartbeat calmer, and the quiet magic of the moment begins to weave them gently toward dreams, soft as the fluttering wings of butterflies in the moonlight. The night air feels warmer now, carrying a delicate sweetness from hidden blooms. Somewhere far above, the stars flicker faintly, scattered across the sky like tiny lanterns, and the moon hangs low, casting a gentle silver glow over the soft grass and quiet waters. Aaron stands slowly, brushing a strand of hair from their face, and takes a careful step toward a small clearing where the moonlight pools like liquid light. Leora rises as well, following her movements quiet, almost floating, as if the soft earth itself carries her. As they walk, a delicate breeze stirs the leaves above, creating a whispering melody that seems to harmonize with the slow rhythm of their hearts. A small, playful moment arrives without notice. A fallen leaf drifts down between them. Leora bends slightly, reaching to catch it, but it twirls just beyond her fingertips. Erin smiles softly at the sight, a warm curve of lips that makes the corners of Leora's eyes brighten. She chuckles lightly, a soft sound that blends with the night and feels like a tiny bell ringing somewhere in the distance. They walk side by side through the clearing now, not speaking, letting the quiet laughter linger like a soft echo. Fireflies drift lazily in the air, their glow casting delicate patterns across the grass. Each tiny light seems to hover around them for a heartbeat, then drift away like gentle sparks of magic that follow their presence. Erin pauses beside a small stone bench, smooth and cool under the moonlight, and gestures for Leora to sit. She does, lowering herself gracefully onto the seat. Erin kneels beside the bench, resting one hand on the edge, fingers brushing faintly against Leora's without pressure, just the hint of connection. The contact is soft, fleeting, and comforting, sending a warm ripple through the calm night air. Above them, the stars continue their quiet shimmer. The pond nearby reflects each tiny glimmer, making the water look like a sky beneath the ground. Leora tilts her head, tracing constellations in the reflection, and Erin mirrors her motion, eyes soft, sharing the silent wonder of the mirrored heavens. Time slows further. Every breath becomes a gentle rhythm, every heartbeat a soft drum of quiet presence. The night seems to hold them in a delicate embrace, where even the smallest gestures, glances, smiles, a fleeting touch carry weightless comfort. The garden, the moon, the stars, and the fluttering wings of tiny creatures all conspire to lull them closer to the calm edge of sleep, a space where dreams may begin to unfurl gently, like soft wings brushing through the silvered night. A cool, gentle breeze moves through the trees, carrying the faint scent of night flowers and damp earth. Somewhere nearby, a stream trickles softly, its water glimmering in the silver light of the moon. The sound is quiet and steady, like a slow lullaby, inviting every step to be calm, every breath to lengthen. Erin rises from the stone bench, brushing their hands lightly over the soft moss beneath them. Leora follows, her footsteps measured, careful, as though the night itself is guiding them. They make their way toward the stream, the faint glow of fireflies illuminating their path. Each tiny winged light drifts lazily, tracing delicate patterns around their shoulders and hands. Reaching the edge of the stream, Erin kneels, letting fingers touch the cool water. Tiny ripples spread across the surface, reflecting the moon and stars in a liquid sky. Leora kneels beside them, her hand hovering just above the water before brushing its surface lightly, and a soft smile curves across her face. The quiet motion, the shared stillness, is more meaningful than any words could be. They watch the reflections dance together, moving slowly in harmony with the night. Occasionally, a firefly lands on a leaf near the water, its tiny glow mirrored perfectly on the surface. Aaron and Leora glance at each other, sharing a soft look, a flutter of warmth rising quietly in their chests. It is subtle, like the brush of a butterfly's wings, gentle, fleeting, but enough to make the world feel softer, slower, and more alive. A tiny ripple passes between them as a small fish glides beneath the surface, silver scales catching the moonlight. Leora lets out a small, quiet laugh, barely audible, and Aaron echoes it with a soft smile. The sound mingles with the trickle of the stream, the rustle of leaves, the faint hum of the night, creating a gentle symphony of calm. For a long while they sit side by side, letting the world move around them without interruption. Every element, the stars above, the water below, the fireflies, the whispering wind, conspires to hold them in this serene moment. Their hearts beat quietly in sync, a gentle rhythm that matches the soft murmurs of the night. As the moon climbs higher, casting a pale, silvery light across the glade, the stream's lullaby grows softer, almost hypnotic. Aaron and Liara lean slightly toward each other, not out of urgency, but from the quiet desire to share the calm of this space. Every glance, every gentle movement, every tiny flutter of wings in the air carries them closer to the edge of dreams, where rest comes like a tender sigh and sleep begins to brush gently across their shoulders. A delicate mist begins to rise from the earth, curling through the moonlit trees like silver ribbons. The air feels cooler now, but soft and inviting, carrying the faint fragrance of night flowers and the earthy scent of the forest floor. Every breath seems slower, fuller, as though the night itself is settling gently into their lungs. Aaron walks slowly along a narrow path where the mist gathers, softening every outline, every shadow, turning the world into a gentle blur of light and silver. Leora follows closely, moving as if stepping through a dream, each footfall quiet, measured, in harmony with the whispers of the night. Tiny droplets of mist cling to the tips of the leaves, sparkling faintly like scattered stars in the dim light. The fireflies have multiplied, drifting lazily through the fog. Their faint glow brushes across Aaron and Leora as they pass, tiny flickers that seem almost alive. Each light feels like a quiet heartbeat, delicate and reassuring. Occasionally, one flutters between them, its soft glow lingering for a moment, as if marking the space they share, a gentle, invisible thread tying them together. A small wooden bridge appears ahead, spanning a narrow, babbling brook. The water beneath glimmers faintly, reflecting the moon and the soft silver of the mist. Aaron steps onto the bridge, letting their hand hover just above the railing, feeling the cool wood beneath their fingers. Leora follows, her gaze tracing the delicate patterns of light dancing on the water. Their presence is quiet but close, comfortable, like two leaves drifting slowly down the same calm stream. Above, the stars peek through breaks in the mist, tiny points of light that twinkle softly. The night hums around them, leaves brushing in the wind, the faint gurgle of water, the distant call of a sleeping bird. Every sound is measured, rhythmic, like a gentle lullaby meant to slow the mind and soothe the spirit. Aaron glances at Leora, a faint smile lighting their face, and she returns it, letting her lips curve softly in response. There is no urgency in their movements, no pressure in their proximity, only a tender acknowledgement of shared presence. The mist swirls around them like a soft cloak, and for a moment it feels as though the world has narrowed to this quiet bridge, this gentle connection, this perfect pause in time. Step by step, breath by breath, heartbeats syncing with the night, they continue forward, deeper into the mist, deeper into calm, deeper into the kind of peace that flutters softly across the skin and makes the chest feel light. And as the bridge passes beneath their feet, the night seems to settle even more gently around them, inviting dreams to drift close, soft as the wings of butterflies brushing against silvered leaves. The mist thins as Aaron and Leora step into a small glade bathed in gentle moonlight. The grass is soft beneath their feet, dewy and cool, and the air hums faintly with the quiet energy of night. Tiny lantern flowers sway in the breeze, their pale glow casting delicate shadows that flicker like whispers across the soft ground. Aaron kneels to trace a pattern in the grass with a finger, and Leora crouches nearby, watching, fascinated. The movement is unhurried, almost meditative, as if the night itself has slowed time to let them savor every small detail. Each gentle gesture, each quiet breath, draws them closer together, not with urgency, but with a soft awareness that they share this space, this moment, this calm. Above, a few fireflies drift lazily, their faint glow weaving between the trees. One flutters near Leora's hand, hovering for a heartbeat before drifting upward, leaving a trail of tiny sparks in the cool night air. Aaron watches, and their gaze meets hers. In that quiet glance a warmth spreads, light as a butterfly's touch, fluttering gently through the chest, leaving a soft thrill that carries nothing but comfort. A nearby brook murmurs softly, its water reflecting the silver moon and the pale light of the lantern flowers. Aaron rises and moves closer, dipping a hand into the cool, flowing stream. Leora follows, letting her fingers brush the water alongside theirs. The gentle ripples stretch across the surface, intertwining like the silent connection forming between them. They wander slowly through the glade, noticing the small, subtle wonders of the night. Petals that shimmer like silver dust, leaves that sway with a soft rustle, the occasional nocturnal bird calling faintly from the trees. Each discovery feels delicate, intimate, as if the garden itself has whispered these secrets for their eyes alone. Aaron pauses beside a low arch of flowering vines, brushing a hand over the petals. Leora mimics the motion, their movements parallel, synchronized in silence. The moonlight above frames them, soft and luminous, as if the night is holding them tenderly in a private embrace. Their hearts beat quietly, slowly, in harmony with the rhythm of the glade. Every flutter of emotion light, comforting, and calm. The air seems to hum with gentle magic, carrying the promise of dreams just beyond reach. As they settle into the glade together, watching the soft reflections in the water, the world feels hushed, slowed, and perfect. Every breath becomes a quiet wave, every heartbeat a soft drum, guiding them gently toward sleep, where dreams may drift softly like butterfly wings in the starlit night. The mist thins as Aaron and Leora step into a small glade bathed in gentle moonlight. The grass is soft beneath their feet, dewy and cool, and the air hums faintly with the quiet energy of night. Tiny lantern flowers sway in the breeze, their pale glow casting delicate shadows that flicker like whispers across the soft ground. Aaron kneels to trace a pattern in the grass with a finger, and Leora crouches nearby, watching, fascinated. The movement is unhurried, almost meditative, as if the night itself has slowed time to let them savor every small detail. Each gentle gesture, each quiet breath, draws them closer together, not with urgency, but with a soft awareness that they share this space, this moment, this calm. Above, a few fireflies drift lazily, their faint glow weaving between the trees. One flutters near Leora's hand, hovering for a heartbeat before drifting upward, leaving a trail of tiny sparks in the cool night air. Aaron watches, and their gaze meets hers. In that quiet glance a warmth spreads, light as a butterfly's touch, fluttering gently through the chest, leaving a soft thrill that carries nothing but comfort. A nearby brook murmurs softly, its water reflecting the silver moon and the pale light of the lantern flowers. Aaron rises and moves closer, dipping a hand into the cool, flowing stream. Leora follows, letting her fingers brush the water alongside theirs. The gentle ripples stretch across the surface, intertwining like the silent connection forming between them. They wander slowly through the glade, noticing the small, subtle wonders of the night. Petals that shimmer like silver dust, leaves that sway with a soft rustle, the occasional nocturnal bird calling faintly from the trees. Each discovery feels delicate, intimate, as if the garden itself has whispered these secrets for their eyes alone. Aaron pauses beside a low arch of flowering vines, brushing a hand over the petals. Leora mimics the motion, their movements parallel, synchronized in silence. The moonlight above frames them, soft and luminous, as if the night is holding them tenderly in a private embrace. Their hearts beat quietly, slowly, in harmony with the rhythm of the glade. Every flutter of emotion light, comforting, and calm. The air seems to hum with gentle magic, carrying the promise of dreams just beyond reach. As they settle into the glade together, watching the soft reflections in the water, the world feels hushed, slowed, and perfect. Every breath becomes a quiet wave, every heartbeat a soft drum, guiding them gently toward sleep, where dreams may drift softly like butterfly wings in the starlit night. The night grows quieter, deeper, and the air feels smooth, like velvet brushing against the skin. Aaron and Leora step onto a narrow pathway lined with pale stones that glimmer faintly in the moonlight, guiding their way like a trail of soft silver. Each step feels lighter, slower, as if the earth itself is cushioning their journey and inviting them to move with the calm of the night. Around them, the forest hums gently. Leaves sway, whispering softly, and the occasional flicker of fireflies lights the edges of the path, tracing arcs of delicate gold and silver through the darkened air. Leora reaches out to brush a hand along the petals of glowing flowers that lean into the path, their glow pulsing ever so slightly, as if acknowledging her presence. Erin mirrors her motion, fingertips trailing over the soft, luminous leaves. The gesture is quiet, intimate, and unspoken, a shared rhythm with the night. The path curves toward a small clearing where moonlight pools over a shallow pond. Erin kneels to touch the water's surface, and Leora crouches beside them. The pond reflects the stars above, scattered like tiny lanterns across a liquid sky. When they move their hands slightly, gentle ripples carry the reflection outward, blending the moonlight with the starlight in mesmerizing patterns. The water seems to hum with the quiet magic of the night, and every ripple feels like a heartbeat in sync with their own. A thin mist rises from the pond, curling around their feet and ankles, soft and cool. It moves with a slow, hypnotic grace, drawing them closer together without force or urgency. Every glance, every subtle movement, every quiet breath shared under the silver glow carries warmth and tenderness. Their presence side by side feels weightless, like floating, yet comforting, like being held by the night itself. Above them, moths and fireflies drift lazily, brushing against the soft mist in fleeting arcs of light. The air carries the scent of honeysuckle and dew, soothing and sweet. Erin glances at Leora, catching her soft smile, and she tilts her head toward them, eyes glowing faintly in the moonlight. The quiet connection between them flutters gently in their chests, light as wings, filling the space with calm warmth. They sit together at the pond's edge for a long while, letting the world move slowly around them. Each ripple in the water, each flicker of light, each faint whisper of the wind feels like a lullaby, winding around their hearts and guiding them gently toward rest. And as the night deepens, the soft magic of the moon, the pond, and the mist seems to carry them closer to dreams, drifting lightly like butterflies through a quiet, starlit sky. A gentle hush flows over the meadow as Erin and Leora rise from the soft grass. The night feels even quieter now, the kind of stillness that carries warmth and calm, wrapping the world in a soft silver blanket. Each breath they take is slow, each step measured, as if the air itself encouraged them to move with the rhythm of the stars. The path ahead curves gently through a grove of slender trees, their leaves shimmering faintly under the moonlight. Tiny lights hover between the branches, fireflies dancing lazily, moving in patterns that seem almost like delicate messages meant only for those willing to notice. Erin and Leora follow, their footsteps soft, careful, letting the world guide them gently forward. Occasionally a gentle breeze stirs, carrying the faint scent of blooming jasmine and dew-soaked earth. The fragrance drifts around them, curling softly in the air, and the chill of the night mixes with the warmth of their closeness, wrapping them in quiet comfort. Leora glances at Erin, catching their soft, thoughtful smile, and her chest flutters lightly, a warmth that rises gently like tiny wings brushing against the heart. The grove opens into a hidden glade where a small pond reflects the stars like a silver mirror. The surface is perfectly still, rippling only when a gentle breeze brushes across it or a leaf falls softly from above. Aaron kneels at the edge, letting fingers skim the water, and Leora crouches beside them, their hands almost brushing. The motion is slow, deliberate, comforting. No words are needed. Their quiet presence together fills the space with warmth and ease. Around them the night hums with life, the faint trickle of water, the soft rustle of leaves, and the distant call of a bird settling into sleep. Fireflies drift lazily through the air, leaving trails of tiny light that brush against their faces, shoulders, and hands. The glow feels like a gentle caress, a soft reminder that the night is alive with wonder, and that their hearts are quietly in tune with it all. Aaron tilts their head toward the sky, tracing the constellations in the silvered heavens, and the aura mirrors the motion, her eyes following the same stars. Their quiet connection is mirrored in every fluttering light, every gentle ripple in the pond, every soft breath of wind. The world seems to slow, to stretch, to hold them gently in a suspended moment where calm and magic intertwine. Step by step, breath by breath, heartbeat by heartbeat, they wander slowly along the edge of the pond, deeper into the quiet beauty of the night. Each movement, each glance, each flutter of tiny wings carries them closer to dreams. The silver light, the soft mist, the gentle music of the night all conspire to lull them toward rest, soft as the wings of butterflies brushing against a sleeping meadow. The path ahead opens into a grove unlike any other. Above, branches weave together into a delicate canopy, silver leaves glinting softly in the moonlight. The air is still, except for a whisper of wind that drifts through the leaves, carrying the scent of night-blooming flowers and cool, damp earth. Light seems to filter in unevenly, scattering in soft patches like liquid starlight across the forest floor. Aaron steps carefully beneath the canopy, letting fingers brush the silvered leaves. Each touch leaves a faint shimmer behind, as though the night itself is painting trails of light. Leora follows, her hands hovering over the branches, feeling the soft, magical pulse of the grove. The space is quiet, private, suspended between reality and dream, where every sound, the rustle of leaves, the soft hum of unseen insects, the gentle stir of fireflies, is magnified by the hush of magic in the air. Above them, thousands of tiny lights hover, drifting lazily in slow spirals. Some appear to be miniature lanterns, others like living stars, their glow faintly reflecting on Aaron's and Leora's faces. The effect is mesmerizing, hypnotic even, a gentle spectacle that slows every heartbeat and stretches every breath into long, soft waves. Aaron kneels near a small pool beneath the canopy, tracing a finger along the surface of the water. Leora crouches beside them, her hand following the gentle ripples. The water reflects the lights above like a mirror of the heavens, blending stars and lanterns with their own mirrored faces. In that quiet, luminous space, their presence together feels weightless, safe, and tender. A thin, silvery mist drifts around them, weaving between the trees and pooling softly, along the edges of the path. The mist carries a subtle warmth, like a delicate embrace, wrapping them in a gentle cocoon of light and quiet. Tiny butterflies, their wings glimmering faintly in the moonlight, drift lazily through the air, brushing past them without urgency, leaving tiny ripples of calm in their wake. They stand together beneath the canopy, breathing slowly, hearts beating softly, in sync with the rhythm of the night. Every glance, every faint smile, every slight movement is magnified in the calm magic of the grove. The world has slowed to the pace of wings brushing air, water rippling gently, and the soft glow of light threading through silver leaves. The night is patient, gentle, and full of wonder, guiding them closer to the edge of dreams, where everything is light, fluttering, and serene. A soft glow begins to rise from the ground, as if the earth itself were breathing light into the night. Tiny orbs drift upward, floating slowly in the cool air, each one shimmering faintly like a captured star. They hover around Aaron and Leora, moving lazily in gentle spirals, creating an atmosphere of quiet enchantment. Aaron reaches out to one of the floating lights. It responds to their presence, drifting closer and brushing gently against their fingertips before floating upward again. Leora mirrors the motion, letting the soft glow brush across her hand, sending a tiny flutter through her chest light, delicate, comforting. Their quiet smiles meet in the middle of the luminous haze, a wordless acknowledgment of shared wonder. The trees surrounding them bend subtly under the glow, their leaves catching the soft light and scattering it in tiny, sparkling flecks. Shadows ripple across the forest floor, slow and rhythmic, like a heartbeat synchronized with the floating lights. The night hums softly, water trickling from a distant brook, leaves brushing together, the faint flutter of wings, and every sound blends into a tranquil lullaby. A thin mist rises along the edges of the path, curling around their feet and legs. It carries the faint scent of night flowers, warm and sweet, drifting upward in slow spirals. Each breath taken in this space feels heavier with calm, more deliberate, a tide of serenity that settles in the chest and spreads outward, slowing every thought, every heartbeat, every movement. Aaron and Leora move slowly through the floating lights, their hands occasionally brushing, not intentionally, but softly enough to feel like a gentle tether. Every subtle contact, every mirrored gesture feels weightless yet warm, like the faint wings of butterflies brushing against the heart. The world has slowed. Every flutter of light, every ripple in the mist, every soft sigh of the wind seems meant to lull them further into calm. Above them the stars peek through the swaying branches, reflecting faintly on the rising orbs. The night seems suspended in this quiet space, a bubble of serene magic where movement is measured, glances are meaningful, and every small moment stretches, slow and unhurried. They pause beneath an arch of softly glowing vines, taking it all in the lights, the mist, the gentle pulse of the magical night. Step by step, breath by breath, heartbeat by heartbeat, they continue through the luminous path. Each floating light carries them closer to dreams, each subtle shimmer guiding them into a gentle drift, like tiny, delicate wings brushing softly across the mind, leaving only warmth, calm, and the flutter of quiet magic. The path ahead winds gently over a series of low, arched bridges, their wooden planks glowing faintly in the silver light. Aaron steps lightly onto the first bridge, feeling the cool wood beneath their feet. Leora follows closely, her hand occasionally brushing against the railing as if to steady herself, though the world feels impossibly calm and safe. Below, the water of a quiet stream reflects the moon and stars, mingling with the faint glimmer of fireflies floating lazily above. The gentle movement of the water produces a soothing melody, a soft trickle that blends with the whisper of the wind through the leaves. Each sound wraps around them like a warm shawl, slowing every heartbeat and stretching every breath into a rhythm of deep relaxation. As they cross the bridges, the glowing orbs that float through the air drift higher, hovering just above their heads and trailing faint ribbons of light. One drifts near Leora's shoulder, brushing gently against her hair. Aaron notices and smiles softly, a warmth rising in their chest. Leora glances at them, catching the faint sparkle in their eyes, and the connection between them deepens without a word of quiet, tender acknowledgement that makes the night feel even more magical. The mist curls softly along the edges of the bridges, cool and delicate, wrapping around their ankles and drifting upward like invisible threads. Tiny wings of light seem to flutter in the haze, brushing past them, leaving behind the faintest warmth and a flutter of calm in their hearts. Step by step, they move together, their pace slow, synchronized, as if the night itself is guiding them gently forward. On the far side of the bridges, the path opens into a wider clearing. Moonlight spills across soft grass and scattered blossoms, painting everything in a serene glow. Aaron kneels beside a small, reflective pool, letting fingers skim its surface, while Leora crouches next to them, mirroring the motion. The water reflects both the floating lights above and their own soft expressions, blending reality and magic in quiet harmony. A gentle breeze stirs, carrying the subtle fragrance of night-blooming flowers. The air is calm, every sound measured, the soft ripple of water, the whisper of leaves, the faint hum of distant nocturnal life. Every detail wraps them in comfort and warmth. Their hearts beat quietly in unison, each breath a gentle wave, guiding them ever closer to the edge of sleep. As they linger in the clearing, the night seems to hum a lullaby just for them. The bridges, the lights, the mist, and the soft ripples in the water all conspire to carry them gently toward dreams, fluttering lightly like tiny butterfly wings, brushing across the mind and heart, leaving only serenity, wonder, and a quiet, tender warmth. The clearing stretches wider now, dotted with soft, glowing lanterns that sway gently from slender branches. Each lantern casts a warm, golden light, mingling with the cool, silver glow of the moon. Aaron and Leora step slowly between them, their shadows stretching long and soft across the ground, merging with the gentle flicker of the lantern's glow. A gentle breeze carries the subtle scent of jasmine and fresh earth. Leora tilts her head, letting the wind brush across her face, and Aaron watches, captivated by the quiet grace in her movements. The air feels alive but calm, like the world itself is exhaling slowly, inviting them to relax, to breathe deeply, and to linger in this suspended moment of tranquility. The floating lights from earlier drift among the lanterns, mingling silver and gold in slow arcs. One of them brushes past Leora's hand, fluttering like a delicate butterfly. Erin notices and instinctively holds their hand just a moment closer, not pressing, just offering gentle warmth. Their eyes meet, and a soft smile passes between them. No words are needed, only shared presence and quiet understanding. Nearby, a narrow stream winds through the clearing, reflecting both lantern and moonlight. Erin kneels beside it, letting fingers skim the surface, while Leora crouches beside them. Tiny ripples spread outward, catching fragments of floating light and scattering them across the water in gentle, hypnotic patterns. The motion is slow and soothing, a quiet rhythm that matches the pulse of their hearts. The night hums softly around them, the rustle of leaves, the faint call of a distant owl, the trickle of water over smooth stones. Each sound blends seamlessly, a lullaby of the earth itself, guiding their breaths into a slow, steady cadence. Every subtle glance, every shared breath, every soft movement between them feels magnified in the serene glow, deepening the sense of calm and quiet magic. A thin mist rises along the edges of the clearing, curling softly around their feet. It carries warmth, gentle and subtle, wrapping around them like a delicate blanket. The floating lights drift higher, spiraling upward toward the stars, leaving trails of shimmering calm in their wake. Step by step, breath by breath, heartbeat by heartbeat, Erin and Leora follow, letting the night guide them deeper into dreams. In this quiet, luminous space, every flutter of light, every gentle brush of mist, every soft reflection in the stream feels like a tender sigh of the world. Sleep begins to brush against their minds like tiny butterfly wings, light, comforting, and slow, carrying them gently toward a night full of serene, dream-filled wonder. The night air grows softer, warmer, filled with the faint scent of blooming night flowers. Tiny petals drift lazily from the branches above, caught in the gentle sway of the breeze. They float around Erin and Leora, brushing past their shoulders, their hair, their fingertips, as if the night itself is painting them in quiet strokes of magic. Erin steps carefully along a path lined with these delicate blossoms, and Leora follows, her footsteps light, almost floating above the soft grass. Each movement feels measured, unhurried, as though time itself has slowed to match the rhythm of their hearts. The petals drift with them, shimmering faintly in the silver moonlight, leaving soft trails of light that flicker like tiny stars in their wake. They pause beneath an arch of intertwined vines where blossoms glow faintly in hues of pale pink and soft lavender. Erin reaches out to touch one gently, and Leora mirrors the motion. Their fingers brush against the cool petals, and for a heartbeat, their hands are nearly touching. The quiet closeness sends a flutter of warmth through both of them, light and delicate, like the wings of a butterfly brushing against the chest. Above, Fireflies hover in lazy spirals, weaving through the falling petals. Their soft glow mingles with the moonlight, scattering faint reflections across the ground and the leaves. The gentle luminescence wraps around Aaron and Leora like a quiet embrace, comforting and calm. Every sound, the faint rustle of petals, the soft call of distant night creatures, the gentle trickle of water nearby forms a delicate lullaby, slowing every thought, every breath. A nearby stream winds gently through the clearing, catching the glow of the blossoms and the moon in its mirrored surface. Aaron kneels to trail a finger through the water, sending ripples outward. Leora crouches beside them, her hand skimming the surface as well. The ripples intertwine, scattering reflections of moon, fireflies, and petals, blending their presence seamlessly with the soft magic of the night. They linger together, shoulders nearly touching, hearts beating quietly in sync. Each glance, each subtle movement, every breath shared feels amplified by the serene glow around them. The night, the blossoms, the gentle light, and the floating petals all conspire to lull them deeper into calm, their minds softening, ready to drift. Step by step, breath by breath, heartbeat by heartbeat, the world slows. Dreams begin to flutter at the edges of consciousness, soft as butterfly wings brushing across the skin. Irene and Leora remain in the quiet, luminous glade, carried gently toward a night of serene, tender, dream-filled wonder. The moon hangs low now, casting long, soft beams that dance across the edges of the trees. Irene and Leora wander into a grove where the air feels even more still, more gentle, almost as if the night itself is holding its breath. Tiny lights float lazily through the air, mingling with drifting petals and the faint shimmer of dew on the leaves. Aaron kneels beside a shallow pool at the grove's center, watching the ripples form soft circles in the silvered water. Leora crouches next to them, letting her hand hover above the surface before skimming it gently. The reflections of stars, moonlight, and floating lights create a tapestry of calm, mesmerizing patterns that seem to lull the mind with every flicker and ripple. Around them the night hums softly, the rustle of leaves, the gentle trickle of the pool, the distant call of an owl, preparing to sleep. Fireflies drift in slow arcs, brushing past their shoulders, sending faint glimmers of warmth across the air. Their closeness is unspoken but profound, each small gesture and glance carrying a tender flutter, light and comforting like the wings of butterflies brushing against the heart. They rise slowly, moving hand in hand, letting their steps be guided by the soft, luminous path ahead. Every movement, every shared breath, carries them further into the calm embrace of night. The grove seems to stretch endlessly, yet every moment feels intimate, private, and serene, a suspended space where worries fade and only gentle wonder remains. Soft mist curls along the edges of the grove, carrying the faint fragrance of jasmine and night blooms. Aaron glances at Leora, catching the faint glow of moonlight in her eyes, and she meets their gaze with a quiet, contented smile. The world seems to sigh around them, a lullaby of silvered light, fluttering wings and whispered winds, inviting them to drift gently toward dreams. Step by step, heartbeat by heartbeat, their journey continues, winding slowly deeper into calm. The grove, the floating lights, the mist, and the soft moonlight carry them forward, each element a gentle nudge toward serene, peaceful sleep, where the night itself cradles them with tender magic. Aaron and Leora step into a wider meadow now, the grass soft and thick beneath their feet, dotted with tiny flowers that glow faintly in silver and pale gold. The moon casts a gentle light across the field, making every blade of grass glimmer like a thread of silk, and the air feels calm, still, and perfectly warm. They walk slowly, hand in hand, savoring the quiet rhythm of their footsteps. Aaron pauses to brush a hand over the petals of a glowing flower, and Leora mirrors the motion, letting the tips of her fingers trail over the delicate bloom. The gestures are unhurried, intimate, like whispers of presence that need no words. Each touch, each glance, feels light and tender, sending tiny flutters through the chest, soft as butterfly wings. Above, fireflies drift lazily, hovering over the grass, weaving slow arcs of golden and silver light. Occasionally, one brushes near a hand or a shoulder, leaving behind a faint warmth, a soft reminder of magic in the night. Leora laughs quietly, a gentle, airy sound that blends seamlessly with the hum of the meadow, the trickle of a distant stream, the soft rustle of leaves, and the subtle whisper of wind over the flowers. They pause near a shallow pond that mirrors the stars above, perfectly still except for the ripples caused by the occasional fall of a petal or touch of a hand. Aaron kneels beside it, letting fingers skim the surface, and Leora crouches nearby, doing the same. Their hands almost touch above the water, and in that quiet, shared space, hearts flutter with gentle warmth, light as wings brushing the heart. A soft mist begins to curl along the edges of the meadow, drifting slowly across the grass and around their ankles. It carries the delicate scent of night blooms and dew, wrapping them in a cocoon of calm. Every breath feels fuller, slower, and more peaceful. Every sound, every ripple, every rustle, every flutter of light guides them deeper into serenity, toward the gentle edge of dreams. Step by step, breath by breath, heartbeat by heartbeat, they move together across the meadow, letting the soft night lead them. The moonlight, the glowing flowers, the floating fireflies, and the quiet mist all combine to create a space where calm is absolute, where magic is subtle and tender, and where sleep begins to brush against them gently, like butterfly wings on a still, peaceful night. The meadow stretches endlessly under the silver moon, its soft grass brushing gently against their ankles as Aaron and Leora wander slowly. The glowing flowers bend slightly in the breeze, scattering tiny motes of light into the air that drift like delicate sparks. Every movement, every step is unhurried, like time itself has slowed to match the quiet rhythm of the night. A nearby pond catches their attention, its surface smooth and reflective. Aaron kneels beside it, letting fingertips skim the water, and sending ripples that shimmer with the reflected stars above. Leora crouches beside them, her hand tracing the gentle waves as well. The subtle motion blends their reflections with the night, creating a perfect, serene symmetry, as if the world itself has paused to hold them in this soft, quiet moment. Fireflies drift lazily around them, casting faint golden and silver lights that flicker across their faces and hands. One brushes lightly against Leora's hair, and Aaron instinctively reaches out, their hand hovering close without touching, sharing warmth and silence. The gentle interaction sends tiny flutters through their hearts, light and comforting, like butterfly wings brushing softly against the chest. Above, the sky is deep and infinite, stars scattered like delicate lanterns. A thin mist curls along the edges of the pond, carrying the subtle scent of night-blooming flowers and cool earth. Each breath they take feels deeper, slower, more peaceful. Each soft sound, the trickle of water, the whisper of leaves, the faint hum of night insects, blends into a lullaby of serenity. They rise slowly and begin to walk along the edge of the pond, shoulders nearly touching. Every glance, every subtle shared motion is tender and unspoken. The world has slowed around them, and their hearts, too, have softened into quiet harmony with the night. Step by step, breath by breath, heartbeat by heartbeat, they move together, letting the moon, the mist, and the glowing lights guide them ever deeper into calm. In this twilight space, every ripple, every flicker of light, every faint scent in the air carries them closer to dreams. Sleep begins to brush against them gently, soft and reassuring, like tiny wings gliding across the mind and heart. The night is still, the meadow serene, and the magic of this quiet, shared world settles around them like a gentle embrace. Irene and Leora step into a wider clearing where the moonlight spills freely across soft grass, illuminating the gentle sway of night flowers. The air is cool and calm, carrying the faint scent of jasmine and dew-soaked earth. Every sound, the rustle of leaves, the trickle of a distant stream, the quiet hum of fireflies blends into a soft, hypnotic lullaby. They move slowly together, hands brushing occasionally, unspoken warmth passing between them like a delicate breeze. Tiny glowing orbs float through the clearing, spiraling lazily in the air. One drifts past Leora's shoulder, brushing against her hair, and Aaron instinctively reaches closer, their fingers almost touching. The tender flutter in their chests is light and comforting, like butterfly wings brushing against the heart. A shallow pond lies at the center of the clearing, its surface perfectly still, reflecting the moon, stars, and softly glowing orbs above. Aaron kneels beside it, letting their fingers skim the water, sending faint ripples across the mirrored surface. Leora crouches next to them, her hand gently following the motion. The reflections mix, blending the light of the night with the warmth of their closeness, creating a private world of quiet serenity. The mist rises slowly, curling softly around their feet, and drifting through the air like delicate threads. Each breath they take feels deeper, slower, more peaceful, as if the night itself is guiding them into calm. Every small sound, every gentle movement, every flicker of light draws them further into the soft embrace of the evening. They pause beneath a ring of softly glowing flowers, leaning slightly toward each other, sharing warmth without words. Their eyes meet in quiet understanding, hearts fluttering gently, the world around them fading into calm. The moonlight, mist, and soft luminescence wrap them in a cocoon of serenity, carrying them closer to the edge of dreams. Step by step, breath by breath, heartbeat by heartbeat, the clearing becomes a sanctuary of stillness. Sleep begins to brush softly against their minds, delicate as butterfly wings, guiding them gently toward rest. Every element, the light, the water, the mist, and their shared presence conspires to leave only peace, wonder, and quiet, tender warmth as they drift deeper into a night of calm, dream-filled magic. Irene and Leora settle in the heart of the luminous clearing, the soft grass beneath them like a gentle cradle. The moon hangs low, casting a silver glow that drifts across their shoulders, mingling with the faint shimmer of fireflies and glowing orbs. Every sound is hushed, now the distant ripple of the pond, the whisper of leaves, the gentle flutter of wings, all blending into a lullaby of absolute calm. They lie back slowly side by side, letting the world around them dissolve into gentle light and soft shadows. Tiny petals float lazily through the air, brushing their arms and faces like delicate, comforting kisses. The mist curls gently around them, warm and light, carrying the subtle scent of night-blooming flowers, wrapping them in a cocoon of serenity. Above, stars twinkle faintly through the branches, mirrored perfectly in the still waters of the pond. Floating lights drift higher, spiraling toward the heavens, leaving trails of soft luminescence in their wake. Every flutter of light, every gentle ripple, feels like a tender heartbeat of the night itself, guiding them further into peace. Aaron reaches for Leora's hand, their fingers intertwining, and she rests her head lightly against their shoulder. The closeness is wordless, pure, comforting, a quiet warmth that fills the chest, soft as butterfly wings brushing against the heart. They breathe slowly, deeply, in sync with the rhythm of the night, letting every exhale carry away tension and every inhale draw in gentle calm. The mist and light embrace them fully now, folding the clearing into a perfect, suspended moment. The glowing flowers sway softly, petals drifting downward like falling stars, each touch feather-light. The night is tender, the world hushed, and dreams begin to touch the edges of their minds, gentle, weightless, and full of wonder. Step by step, breath by breath, heartbeat by heartbeat, Aaron and Leora drift together into the soft embrace of sleep. The meadow, the lights, the mist, and their shared presence conspire to leave only peace, warmth, and the flutter of delicate wings across the heart. The world fades into silvered calm, carrying them gently into a night of serene, dream-filled magic. And so, in the quiet glow of the moonlit clearing, they rest, fully enveloped in the night's embrace, ready to drift softly, gently, endlessly into dreams. The night is calm now, the meadow, the pond, and the glowing lights fading softly into the gentle embrace of dreams. Every flutter of mist, every whisper of leaves, every shimmering light carries the memory of this journey, leaving warmth, calm, and wonder in its wake. If your eyes feel heavy and your heart is soft, allow yourself to follow the quiet rhythm of the night. Let the soft wings of imagination carry you through gentle dreams, floating in the stillness, light as a butterfly brushing across silvered petals. There is nothing to do, nowhere to rush, only the tender peace of this moment wrapping around you. Remember this world of calm, wonder, and quiet magic, the moonlit glades, the floating lights, the silvered streams, and the shared warmth of gentle companionship. All of it is here for you, waiting whenever you need to return, a sanctuary of serenity and soft, dreamlike comfort. Thank you for joining this journey tonight. From the drifting petals to the shimmering glow of moonlit streams, every moment was created to carry you gently toward rest, to calm your mind and to flutter softly across your heart. This is the Hypnoscope, guiding you through peaceful nights, one soft, magical story at a time. Close your eyes now, breathe slowly, and drift deeper. Let the night embrace you fully. Let your mind wander lightly, and allow yourself to float into dreams with wings as soft and delicate as butterflies. Good night, dream gently, and remember the calm, the wonder, and the quiet magic are always here for you, waiting to guide you safely into restful, serene sleep.